What time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, he's back from the dead. Your show. Putting it on the map, yeah. Saskatoon. Right next to New York. New York. Yeah, what show, yeah. Your show. What time is it? Your show. Yeah, time to talk some shit, yeah. Your show. Yeah, fun Maggie. Bark, bark, wolf, wolf, move on to treat, yeah. Keep listening.
Welcome to the Wednesday edition of your show. My name is Gary. I am your busty host. Hope you're having a great day. Hope it was fantastic to you. If you're about to finish it off, congratulations. You're almost there. You got this. And welcome to it. A lot of fun goes on around here as we celebrate everything that needs to be celebrated as you start a movement to change the world, to do good things and have good things happen to you. That's what we're all about. And we're also all about connecting with our friends, people that have been a part of our lives as we've made our way to this point. And we're trying something new here today. Yesterday, we tried the 3-host setup, and it worked pretty good. We started with one way. LB fixed it like he always does. He's on the ones and twos today. Do you feel like you're being underutilized when you're in there now, that you're like Mr. Everything? Okay, good. I just want you to know you're appreciated for all that you do. I just feel like it's way too easy for you to run a show, but we are so grateful because we wouldn't try what we're about to try if you were not here. Yesterday, we had the 3-man setup. He fixed it, made it better. We only have one coach, not Maisie's, one coach. So we're going to go, and we're set up for 2 Zooms right now. A double Zoom, if you will. And we're going to dive right into it. We apparently only have one coach on right now. So let's go ahead and do it, LB. Let's see what we're working with here. Show me what you got. It's a good song. I believe. Maybe. Possibly. Coach One in the house. AJ, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, pretty good, Gary. Good afternoon, good morning.
Yeah, I guess it's morning for you, right? What'd you say, 8 a.m. around now?
Yeah, 8 o'clock. So we've been out, done my exercise. We've got some builders working in the backyard already. So we're off and flying already.
What are we building in the backyard?
An al fresco. So we're covering the back area, our back deck. So there's a roof there, and we'll put a TV out there so the kids have somewhere to watch. And then just outside my studio here, I've got 3 kids getting ready for school, and a couple of them arguing, and I'm running out there going, "Be quiet!" You know, we're going live.
We always go live here. That's the best part about it. I'm still trying to figure out what the heck an al fresco is. That's like a cover for your deck?
Yeah, imagine you just have like a roof over your deck. So it's good in the summer. It blocks out the shade, and then we'll put a couple of heaters out there. So in the winter, you can still be out there socializing. Kids will play PlayStation, whatever it might be.
I gotcha. That's fantastic. So for those who don't know, this is my old coach from way back in the day, also a family friend for my entire life. Our families played hockey together, and he now lives in New South Wales, Australia. What's the exact city or town?
I think I threw you out last week, Gary. I was in New South Wales last week, but I live in Melbourne, so I'm back at home.
Okay. Now, hold on. LB, can we turn them up a little bit? Is that possible? I don't got the narrow ear canals like you, so it doesn't go in as quick. But so Adrian, what's going on here is we got these earpieces, and we thought they were just fantastic at the start. And then now as we go, they're tougher to operate with. They pop out sometimes, and they're getting all crazy. So we're going to get some custom ones, but you just have to bear with me as we work through these kinks here. So, sorry, you were saying the name of the town one more time?
Yeah, so I live in Melbourne, Victoria.
Oh, yeah, we know Melbourne, of course. Yeah, it's okay.
You've been to Rosebud. You were picking fruit and getting poisoned on.
That was crazy, man. That poison, don't ever get sprayed by a poison sprayer in a winery. Like in the fields, when you're working in those fields, man, it is not good. You get very sick. I was talking to some boys about that trip the other day, talking about being in Melbourne in St. Kilda. We stayed at the Coffee Palace, was the hostel in St. Kilda, and oh man, what a time. The stories that came out of that place would just blow your mind. As you can imagine, being a backpacker out there, it was very fun. So Coach Mazer was supposed to be here. That's why we got Coach One under your name there. You're going to be Coach One, and Coach Mazer is going to be Coach Two. But apparently he bailed on us. I was really excited to try the double Zoom. I've never done that. With all of your, I guess you would say online meetings and luncheons and businesses that you do you ever do a double Zoom before?
don't think I've ever done a double Zoom. The most I've had when I've been doing a webinar or a talk. So during
Yeah.
COVID, like here in Victoria, we were literally shut down for almost a year.
Ooh.
So nobody was at work. We had curfews. We had to be in our houses at 8 o'clock at night. You couldn't be out 5 kilometers radius is as far as you could go. So
crazy.
during COVID, for somebody who's makes a living speaking at conferences
Yeah.
or face-to-face workshops, that was a little tough. So I think the most that we've had on one was about 250, but it was just everybody's logging in at once, but not
Oh.
like this setup, Gary, not like this
No,
setup.
that sounds horrible. It sounds like Coach Mazer might be here now. Do you want to try that out? I'm just tested LB here. You say, he's shaking his head. That's fine. I can carry it. I just thought it'd be cool for all of us to talk together just because we've been buddies for so long. Okay, so I got a bunch of stuff I want to get to here before we let you get back on your way. Do you got to drive the kids to school? Is that what you do, or do they just walk?
The boys will walk, but our daughters, I usually give her a ride in the
Yeah.
morning. So yeah,
That's fair. I appreciate that. As we continue with Coach One, aka Adrian Belarjon. He was my old coach way back in the day with the Cardinals. I loved how you did a post and you talked about how I socked a walk-off grand salami in one of our biggest moments during that magical Cardinals Braves season that we got to have.
yes, I think I was thinking about it again. I reckon it was against the Red Sox, and you remember there was a Jeremy Blay and Dustin
Blaze?
Murray. It might have been against them.
Yeah.
I can on diamond, the one on the back diamond, and yeah.
I love how you can remember that so well. And do you remember the irony as we picked up Jeremy and we went out to Westerns and then I got benched for him and you guys were like, sorry, Gary, like we got to do. I was like, I don't care, coach. I just want to win. Like I spent the whole season on the bench. As you know, I'm a team guy. That was my role. So I was okay with it. So it's always fun to think back about those old memories. Now I want to talk a little bit as your corporate work. I got a whole list of stuff here and there's so many things. But teamwork, it totally plays into that as we segue into it. The importance of teamwork, and this is something that you speak on. You're talking about these huge seminars that you put together and you lead and you run. Teamwork as a whole. When I look around at sports, at least in this city, and how you're talking about how it's all zones and then it all turns into like clubs. You guys have clubs there. With teamwork and the importance of it, are we still getting people involved and making friends like we did back in the day? Because I still got friends that I played sports with when I was like 5. Like, is that still a connection made, or is it way more sort of about the athletic pursuit and trying to make it somewhere?
Yeah, what we're finding here is it's becoming a lot more. Oh, hold on here. Is that Coach Maisie jumping on?
No. Oh, is it? Yeah, it is. Hold on. Okay. This is fantastic. This is going to get so good. Don't lose your thought, though. Let's talk about teamwork still and how friends are still being made in minor sports.
Yeah, so what we're finding here is like in the club atmosphere, right?
Yes,
So we've
that's
got
what I was trying to say.
39 baseball clubs, and you grow up playing in that. There is that real loyalty amongst the group. But what we're finding now is there's a lot of similar to travel teams being made, or different people starting up different academies that are providing a higher level of service, or they can help kids get to college. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course.
So we're starting to see that hit here. I think in the U.S. and I haven't been in Saskatoon for a little while with the sports. Understand if there's things outside of zones that are giving kids different opportunities, but here in Australia, we're starting to see that there's programs that are starting taking people to the U.S. So if you've got a lazy 10 to 15K in your pocket and you want your kid to go to the US for a couple of weeks and go and play in some tournaments down south, then those opportunities are becoming there's a lot more options for that now.
So with that, do you still make those lifelong connections with your bros that you play with, like your brother Steve and I? We played a bunch of hockey. That's how we became friends. And all these other guys, I'm still friends to this day because of those relationships. When your parents are paying the extra money and putting you out there and you're playing on these super teams with guys that you don't live real close to, is there a disconnect there?
Yeah, I think there's still that the friends will grow up. So example, we started a program 10 years ago here for my oldest son, and now my youngest son has gone through it, and they spend 3 nights a week together for 12 months a year.
Okay.
So that for those friendship groups are going, I think they're still strong. And for example, when we went to nationals, that was with it's called a selects team or an all-star team.
Ooh, okay.
We had 4 of the boys from our club on that team, and they hung out together. They were best friends there. And the other coach was going, "Oh, all your research boys, they all just hang out together." And it's like, I was actually proud of that in one way, because it's like, yeah, they're buddies, man. They're
That's what you
tight. They're
want.
comfortable with each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's still there, but I think over time it'll be interesting as they start going on these super teams and traveling all over the world.
Absolutely. I like that. Okay. We're gonna go for Maze. There we go. We're gonna try this. Stick with us, Coach Well. There. Oh my goodness, it's Coach 2. Coach 2, are you there? Talk to me.
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. AJ, can you hear him?
You bet.
I don't think there's any purpose of me being on here except for testing that we can do this in the future. That was just the question earlier today. But to touch on what AJ said about what would it be? So there's club teams, and then what were the other teams? What would they be called? I forget what they'd be called. But yeah, so like for baseball, we have the Saskatoon Berries that we've been talking about, AJ and other groups starting up. So they're starting their own academy, I guess, academy clubs. So they're starting their own academy as well, which is kind of to the chagrin of the Goats, who've been operating out of the Gordie Howe Center as well. But there's the Going Yard Goats. Yeah. Then we have Inside Pitch. Then a buddy of mine, Brian Usher, who had run the Rhinos forever, he decided to start the Junior Rhinos, which is just for kids that maybe don't want to. There's still money in there, but they maybe don't want to invest as much time completely to baseball, but they still want to play some fall ball and some extra baseball after the summer's over. So he started that. So yeah, there's lots of opportunities for that. So I don't think the friendships break. I think you misunderstood me the other day, Gary, that I think there's new opportunity. I do know there is an issue where guys start to, like, if you're not on the Goats or if you're not on this team, you're not as good or something like that. I noticed that in spring hockey, like all the really good players go to the Junior Blades, or they go to what's another one, the Huskies or something like that. And if you're not on that team, then you're lesser of a person. I feel that some kids act that way, but I don't think there's any ill intent, just kids being kids growing up, and same stuff happens. So that's all.
Okay. Well, and then this question's for coach number 1 there, AJ. What role do the parents play in sort of all of this? Because we all hear the stories about how there's the, classic hockey parent or classic baseball parent who's always, getting their kids on the teams they don't belong in because they're doing this and that. Does that form a disconnect as well? Or does that sort of play into the whole, like, if you're not on this team, then guess what? You're not that good. Like, are the parents pushing that at all?
Yeah, I was going to build off of what Maze was saying, whereas, kids will be kids, but I think there's this massive FOMO, fear of missing out, with the parents if their kids aren't selected for these teams, and they think, oh, geez, they're 14 years old right now. If they're not selected for this team, then they're not going to be able to make the next team and the next team, and I don't know, eventually make NHL or the MLB or whatever it might be. So I think it's more on the parent side. We're lucky here in the sense with baseball, it would be tier 3, a tier 4 sport. So there's not as many as, let's call it the hockey parents as you guys would have. Here it's more with the footy, the Aussie rules footy. If you go watch that, that's the equivalent of I call it ice hockey because there's 2 types of hockey here. But if you go to a footy game, the parents, just the abuse that they're yelling out to the umpires, it just blows you away. And I think in baseball, what I've noticed here is at the younger age groups, it's not as bad because most of the people here aren't familiar with baseball or understand. They wouldn't even know what to yell at the umpire. But as you get older, they start to think they know more, and they start abusing, and getting into it a little bit more. So we're probably lucky in that sense for the sport. But I think it's the same everywhere. If it's the real popular sports, everybody's got the dream, whether it's the parents' dream or the kids' dream, for the kids to move up, and therefore you get the poor behaviors.
Yeah. That's basically what I see. It's the tale as old as time, right? Just the parents living through their kids, and that's sort of a thing that even if you think you're not doing it, you're not trying to do it, still subliminally, everyone wants to make the show. That's the big thing. So I can definitely see where that comes from. One more for you guys before we let you go, and we'll start with you, Coach number 2. That's you, Rai, Coach Mays. The Jays. Is it time for a rebuild? Tell me right now. Give me something on the Jays, because oh boy, it's getting tough to watch.
Well, before I give you my opinion on that, I just want you to appreciate, like, I don't have a nice library set up like AJ does, but if you scan to his left shoulder and look really closely, you might see some product placement there, very nicely, very impressive. I don't
Are
know
we
if you
pimping
see
the book again? I'm all about pimping the book. Shout it out.
I don't have that on my library yet. Try and get that in there.
All
There
right,
it
Maze.
is.
gotta send you. I'll have to send you a copy of the book. Teams
I
that
would-
swear by each other.
Yeah.
I would
I'll
love
go
to get a copy, AJ, for the set here. I would love to put that up here. So make sure you send that to us. And where can people buy it again? Because it is fantastic from what I hear. I haven't got to read it yet, obviously. I'm not big into book
Yeah,
buying.
you can check. You can check it out at teamsthatswear.com, or you can just jump on Amazon and grab your own copy there.
I love that. And maybe if you send me a couple, I could maybe sling some for you. We can give some away to different guests here. We love giving different people that come in all sorts of different treats from our friends at Uncle Mike's and all these other places. Okay, great. So, Coach,
You know what?
no, Coach Mays, you got me thinking again because you've done a couple of these from different restrooms. Is that another bathroom you're doing this from?
No, this is, so I just raced from my work because we have ball tonight. Ball was off. AJ, we play Scott Forrest's kids team tonight. He's now with the Cardinals. But the game was off because it was raining all day in Saskatoon. And then a guy named Chase Paul, who's going to be drafted in the NHL next year, works our diamonds. And he worked all day to get them prepared for us. So the game's on. So I raced home. I hopped into what we call our office, but my office doesn't look as nice as AJ's. There's a fish that Louis
fish tank. Yeah, of course it's the fish tank. I thought it was a paper towel dispenser. That was my bad.
No, that's the fish tank. There's some I don't know what they're called. I forget what the fish are called, but they look like scuba divers, so they're kind of cool. But
yeah.
Anyway, so the game's on. I'm not sitting on a toilet. That would be my thing.
It is your move. Okay. Blue Jays, rebuild. Give me something real quick before we move on with it. I can't believe this works so good. I'm very proud of everyone involved here. Go ahead. Is it time to strip it down?
Yeah, I don't think any cards are going to be shown until the very last minute, and they'll wait to the very last minute to see how they're doing. So if the Jays get on a hot streak right before the deadline, I don't think they move anybody. I think the goal still is to sign Vladdy. Obviously, he's
coming around.
Start the year, but he's moved into like a top 30, 40 player again. So you got to believe that Bichette, this is just a one-off. He's been solid for the past 4 years. Absolutely. So he's going to be good again. So I think they still want to build around those guys, or I believe they do. I just don't know if they want to invest the amount of money they need to invest in those two and then still build something around them. I'm a firm believer that if they weren't going to go out and get, I know they tried to get some locker room guys like Turner, and Kiermaier is amazing in the locker room, and I know that was the goal, but I still think that they should have, if they weren't spending money this year by getting the bats they needed, they should have just brought everybody up from their farm system, let Clement get at bats, and there's a lot that goes into it. We, even on the Blue Jays chat group that we have going, I decided last night to look at where they would have been if they didn't sign Kiermaier and didn't sign Turner, and they would have had Soler, who ended up getting hurt, or they could have had Jock Peterson that's doing okay, but I don't think they would have been in a different spot this season. It all came down to Bo, Vladdy performing, and then hoping Springer didn't suck. But I think he does, unfortunately. He's a great guy too, though. But
there you go.
That's what I say. I don't think they're selling. I think they're going to still want to try and build around these guys. They're just going to let some of those big contracts that they have expire, so they wouldn't. Kikuchi will be gone, and any spot that they can have to let some money go, they'll probably let it go. So there might be a couple guys move, but I don't think it'll be the ones you are thinking.
Okay, Coach number 1, to you, and I'm going to throw this a little bit different, as I know you're a great ball player and you can catch this and send it right back. Shapiro and Atkins, is it not time, man? Because everyone's saying, oh, you got to fire Coach Snyder, you got to fire. No, man. Like, he's just being told what to do, as far as I can tell. Like, how the hell are these guys still running this team, bro?
This is where I'm going. Is it the players that need to be shipped out, or is it different? I reckon Shapiro and Atkins, they're going to be gone sooner than later. They need to. Look, they've come in, they've done off-field stuff really well. But last year and this year, this was our window. We've been waiting for this since 92, 93.
Yeah.
Really, that, and we heard about Bo when he was, or not Bo, Vladdy when he was 16. And I just read these last 2 years were our years to do it, and they haven't done it. It's time to move on. And then here's the thing: are they talking to people in the background right now so they can start to think about what they do leading up to the trade deadline? Do we wait the full season and then give somebody else to restart? I think they got to cut ties sooner than later, and then get the new thinking and get them to be able to make their mark sooner than later, rather than waiting to the end of the year.
I agree. Great insight from a couple of fantastic, incredible minds. To Coach number 1 and Coach number 2, thank you for joining us. And I believe this was a successful double Zoom. So you guys, you made some history here on your show and on the Dufferin Avenue Media Network. To Coach number 1, AJ, thank you so much, brother, for giving us some time. Enjoy that lovely, beautiful Melbourne weather out there. Make sure there's no snakes or spiders on the way to school. And we'll talk to you again real soon. Coach number 2, Coach Mazer, you have fun at ball tonight and say hi to everyone from us, all right? We can all talk at once. Woo! Coaches! Give it up for coaches. There we go. Great job, guys. Great job, guys. That was good. Maggie was getting amped up. Margaret, report immediately. We're gonna give a little shout out to our friends with the Maggie Cam. It might be a fluffy butt edition, but let's just go to it, LB, as I'm going to give you this for being a good girl. There you go. The Maggie Cam, proudly brought to you by our fantastic friends over at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer. Mike and Rochelle. I forgot to send the video again. I got another video of Leroy, Maggie's boyfriend, walking her around on the leash, and it was super funny. And I forgot to play it again, but I was there the other day. Mike, Rochelle, Kirsten, Chris, and Shar, always there to help you, and not just with your pet, but with life as a whole. You walk in there, if you're having a bad day, they'll turn it around, I promise you. We had so much fun, always, whenever we go. And actually, Brooksy, my good buddy, I was telling Mike when I was there that we're going to start, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, bringing back Adventures with Maggie, which was something we did over at the old place. And basically it was just dressing her up in different outfits, and it was super fun. So I am all about that. Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer. Hey, there's Wendy Brooks Media right there. If you hate social media, hit her up. She'll make it so you don't have to do literally anything. It's the best. It's all I've ever wanted in my life. She's made my life so much easier. So a shout out to her. Can we get some walk-up music for this next guy? Hell yeah. I'm loving the walk-up music so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Commander Cookout Podcast. It's Uncle Brando! Yeah, buddy! Oh, man! God, I love you. I love you so much. Did you get to hear the walk-up music?
I sure did.
Isn't that cool?
That's from Mega Man for sure.
No, it's paper. Look around. It's Paperboy, bro.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Just
everything's Mega Man. All right.
Yeah,
all right,
well,
all
you
right.
are Mr. Mega Man.
All right.
I will give you that for sure. You love your Mega Man.
So I was sitting here listening to your interview, Gary.
That was awesome. Hey, how cool was that?
That was fantastic. First of all, I thought that a double zoom was something way different.
Don't
than
Google
what
it.
I
To
got.
quote Network Ryan. Do not Google it.
I would not look that up on the internet ever. But I have so many questions now.
Lay it on me, bro.
Like the first thing ever, like, how do you have children in Australia where everything is trained and
kill you.
evolved to kill you?
I know. It's tough.
so. I know why everything tries to kill you. Can I teach you a thing? I'm all over the place today.
I
I'm
love
sorry.
this. Yeah, bring it. Well, yeah, you've been basically been pushed to the very bottom of a cannon, like ready to just explode. So
I try
let's do this.
and learn something new every day.
So smart. That's
So
why I love you.
I assume everybody else tries to do the same thing. So here's Uncle Brando teaching you a fun fact of the day.
Okay.
You might know this. Do you know why everything in Australia is so like venomous or poisonous or giant or just there to kill everything that exists? Do you know why it's like that?
I assumed it was because it never freezes there, so they don't die off from freezing.
No. It's because Australia is a relatively small area,
Okay.
and they have nowhere else to go. So you either learn to kill everything that's trying to kill you, or you die.
Wow.
That's why everything on us in Australia is scary.
Dang. So if
everything's trying to kill everything, and it's like this arms race to see who could.
I see what you're
right
saying.
to see who makes it.
Yeah, okay.
And then all the things that are like around Australia on like the little shelf, like the coral atoll shelf, before you get into like the deep, deep ocean. Same deal.
This guy, Dr. Brando.
See, I went to an aquarium one time. I am a genius. I am a genius.
Don't get him started on the bee holes of the aquatic world. That's a whole nother show.
Yes, I don't know anything about Australian bee holes, though. I have not.
Well, you know about marine life.
I do.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Oh,
so basically what you're saying is if the continent of Australia was bigger, it would be less likely to kill you.
Probably.
That's pretty
I'm
cool.
not saying it would be all the way less likely, but like would be less likely, yes.
That's awesome. Would you ever go to Australia?
Absolutely. I would love to go to Australia. It sounds like the coolest place ever.
It's hot.
Everything about it sounds awesome. Like nobody lives in the middle of it, so it's super scary. It's like being on the moon, and then there's beaches everywhere, and there's little octopuses that just kill you, but they're small.
Yeah, the purple. What was that? Purple dot octopus?
Blue ringed octopus.
Blue ring, that's the one.
Man.
That was one of my biggest fears. I went there, hey? I was there for 3 months.
Oh, man. Why would you come back here from there?
Well, every single thing I saw in the water I thought was the purple ring octopus. And you know how my brain works. Like, my brain is the most overactive brain you'll ever have, to the point where I don't sleep or do anything because I just think of the worst of everything. Like, I think just looking in this room right now, I could probably show you 10 different ways I could die within the next 2 minutes. That's a legit thing that goes on in my head. So take that mindset, put it into Australia,
where everything actually can or is trying to kill you.
And I had 3 different run-ins. We had one working in the vineyard that AJ was talking about it when I got sprayed by the poison sprayer. And it was Doobie and Benji and I, and we were walking down after we were just lifting wires. So we'd lift the vines up and then keep walking. And we had one disc man. One disc man to share between 3 dudes. So you get a CD and then you pass the disc man down. We had like a rotation, like 4 or 5 CDs. And Doobie was in between Benji and I. And out of nowhere, you could hear the scream. I had the headset at the time, so I had the CD player going, and I still heard his horrific scream. It was the highest pitched scream you've ever heard in your life, and he just took off. Boom! Like if he was a cartoon character, there'd be a smoke around his body. Like he was gone. Like, holy jeez, what happened?
Oh, can I guess? What was it, an animal?
It was not an animal.
Oh, it was not an animal?
Not an animal.
Oh my God! Was it a vegetable or a mineral?
No. I guess technically it was an animal. It was a spider. Oh. But it wasn't a little spider. Have you heard of the huntsman spider before?
I have, yes.
It was the size, like he said, it was the size of his entire thigh.
Oh my God!
So look at your thigh, and it covered the whole thing. It just fell out of the vine right onto his thigh, and yeah, look at those thighs. Imagine that, like this big, this big, like boom. And he ran, dude. And the crazy part about the huntsman is they'll eat birds and stuff. They won't eat you. They can't even hurt you. They're like the cool ones to have. They're like good for pets. Yeah.
No.
They're like one of the biggest spiders in the world. So there was that. Also in that same vineyard, one of our jobs was to reach into basically the wrap around the vine and just pull out all the weeds and stuff and then go to the next one. And I was a little hungover during this is even better. So during our orientation, the guy says very clearly, I can't stress enough, make sure you're wearing gloves because as you know, there's a lot of insects out here who could kill you. And hungover, Gary missed that whole part. So I was the only one just freehanding, going like this and doing that one until the manager came over and yelled at me profusely. I was like, dude, chill out, man. I'm hungover. Like, why are you yelling at me so much? Like, where are your gloves, mate? You need your gloves. I was like, why?
You're going to be a shrimp on a Barbie. Yeah,
man, you could die, bro. So that was another run-in. Luckily, I say because there was another person who actually had a run-in with one. It was a very poisonous spider. Redbacks. The redback spider like to live in those places. And then someone actually got one on their glove.
Oh,
so this was another thing. And then the third time we were walking out of our flat in Coogee, which is a lovely little place.
What's a flat?
So it's like a house or apartment.
Okay.
So we're walking out and there's a big, beautiful tree and me and Doobie again. And he's behind me. What a lovely night. We're going to go to the bar and party in Australia. And I just stop. And then Doobie runs into me. He's like, dude, why'd you stop? And I just did one of these. And right here was a spider about this big. And it was like, its body was only like this, but its legs were like, it would have covered my whole face. I would have walked right into it. Right into it. And when I moved over, he goes, eek! And then the spider just went, zip, gone. Never saw it again. Australia can kill you.
Oh, yo.
I don't think I want to go back. And if it's not those things, it's the heat, bro. Like plus 50. There's days where it's like plus 55. They shut the beach down. Too hot.
Well, that sounds lovely, actually.
Why would you shut down? Yeah, you would be right out there.
Yeah, I would love that.
They shut down the beach.
So
The
lay
beach
on
is
a
where you
rock.
go when it's too hot.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Man,
Maybe we should go. Maybe I'll go with you.
I
Maybe we
would
should
love
take
to
the.
go.
Maybe we should take your show on the road.
I would do it.
Maybe go stay with AJ. Probably he'd have us.
He'd probably. I have
He's a
couple.
lovely man.
There's a couple of CCO national lights there from Australia. They would they'd probably have us in there.
Commander Cookout Podcast.
They're
Play
fantastic.
his theme song. If you haven't watched it yet, I just want to do some cross promotion here. And I was actually talking Uncle Mike. So get this. This is fantastic.
Ooh,
so
okay.
he hears Commander Cookout Podcast. He goes, oh yeah. So I went after I watched the Friday show. I shout out to Uncle Mike's All Naturals, by the way, UncleMike'sNatural.com. A damn 20 promo code still going. You can use it to get a huge discount on all your awesome all natural products. So
You said I
finished
could
one-
eat this stuff.
No,
you
you
said
can
it.
eat. You can eat the stuff in the box, the peanuts. We'll get to that later.
Peanuts.
They're going to be good. They're
That's exciting.
packing peanuts.
What?
So Uncle Mike says, yeah. So after I watched the show, I was like, I'm going to check out this Commander Cookout podcast because I like cooking. You know, I want to do some cooking, get some tips maybe. He's like, I got to watching. I was like, man, this is not cooking. It was so confusing. And I said, yes, but when you watch the pre-show, and I was talking to Network Ryan about this because you guys are always talking about, oh, should we make the pre-show longer or shorter? What should we do? I'm like, dude, do not touch the pre-show because that is the show for guys like me who just love seeing you and Network Ryan do your thing because there's so much hilarity that goes on in there. And when you actually do the actual podcast, I think we can all agree it's a very niche market because Magic the Gathering is the most impossible game to learn in the history of anything ever. I tried. I've been trying for weeks now, and I'm not even close to even figuring out how to tap a land.
I don't know how I do it. It's the truth.
And you win too when you do it.
I do.
So the point is, Uncle Mike went and saw it. He's like, yeah, it was really funny though. Those guys are hilarious. I'm like, I know, man. So you guys are getting lots of love out in the CCO Nation, baby.
Thanks, Uncle Mike. We appreciate that. That's
We're all a
very
big
nice.
happy family here.
Aw, that's so nice.
So you saw the Twitch stream over here, hey? Our
Oh,
studio?
yeah, I'm very excited.
LB he was working late last night. We stayed a while after many Mountain Dews, lots of cursing, and even a phone call or two to Big Brookman.
So you had the little man up past his bedtime, like
Yeah.
9:30, hey?
Dad called and
Oh, I
he's
bet
like,
it was almost
"Son,
dark."
You got to get to bed. Get out here. The sun's about to go down.
Oh,
But he
man.
was working stuff out and this and that, and we did our first ever test run. We recorded 18 minutes of streaming, and I will tell you, it looked like we were on Twitch. We have a full-on Twitch overlay. We got the timer set up for our speed runs. We're going to have our split segments set to go. It's all happening, and I'm so excited to be doing this because that means that Brando and Gary Get Good at Games is going to be also fully rolling, which is very exciting.
What's the first game you're going to play for speedrun?
It's got to be All-Star Softball, Dusty Diamonds.
What?
All-Star Softball, Dusty Diamonds.
Is it a real game?
Yeah.
Or is that a game you like made up that you're
No,
just going to
no,
say
it's
you're
real.
speedrun?
Actually, the copy's in the machine right now. You want to bring that copy over here? Please
Prove
and
it.
thank you?
I'll bet you.
We got Summer in the house as well.
There's no way
doing
this
her
is
thing.
real. There's no way that there's a real game called Summer Softball Dusty Diamond. What? What did you call it?
Summer's Dusty Softball Diamonds?
Yeah. Is that
Well,
what's
just pull it
happening?
out. It's a Nintendo Entertainment System. You pull it out. There you go.
Man, I've.
Kids these days, man.
Wow,
Hey.
that's a thing.
Jeez, thank you so much, young lady.
We appreciate you.
All-Star Softball, Dusty Diamonds.
Don't show it to the camera. You gotta show it to me so that I can
Well,
see.
I just
what
want
it is.
everyone to see first.
Okay.
And I can even mouth sing the theme song for you. It goes. So
what am I looking at here? Like, is this like Base Wars where you
I
cut the
wish.
kid's arms off and you put a cannon on there
Base
instead?
Wars is a great game. I played it the other day. Very
Yeah.
fun. It still holds up, by the way. No, it's basically there's like 30 different players, and then you pick them. They all have different attributes, and then you go in, you play some softball. You can play fast pitch or slow pitch. It's a lot of fun.
How do you speed run a baseball game?
That's a great question. The rules, because speedrunners.com or speedruns.com, one of those things. Speedrun.com. At speedrun.com, they usually have all of the rules that you have to abide by to submit your run.
Okay.
Fortunately for us, All-Star Softball doesn't have any. So, with that in mind, we've just been speedrunning and we put up some very good numbers. So you could be sitting, maybe even as soon as next week at this time, next to a world record holder on speedruns.com.
Where?
Right here, you dungus.
Who are we talking about?
Me. It's gonna be me.
You?
To
No.
quote Justin
Come
Timberlake,
on.
I think is it Justin Timberlake? It's gonna be me.
That's gonna be May.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's gonna be May. Yeah,
What
we
are
all
you
know that
guys?
song.
It's June. It's June.
Well, then I guess you're gonna have to wait until next year before I'm sitting next to anybody.
Oh
hey?
God.
Man, if JT was here right now, I would
Do you know who I wish was here right now?
tell me.
JB.
Who's that?
JB from the greatest reporter and anchor in the history of News Talk Radio.
Oh, yeah.
Worldwide. JB is my hero. He's my everything. I love him so much. I wish he was
Man,
here.
that guy has a fairly sizable He-Man and the Masters of the Universe action figure collection that I am very curious to look at.
Steal is what he said.
Yes, yes. When I say look
JB,
at it, I do mean
hide the
take.
collection, bro. Hide it.
I do mean take for myself, and then I own it.
Yeah. Well,
One of my favorite things to do is when people show me their things, and then they become my things. That's my favorite thing.
You're like one of those sticky bandits from the Home Alone movies.
Correct. It's way easier than earning it myself or finding it somewhere
I
when
gotcha.
somebody else has already done the legwork for me, and then I just acquire the item for myself.
Was it you or Network Ryan that has the Castle Grayskull, the play set? I had one growing up. I loved it so much. Was it you?
The answer is yes. I have one, and then
course you
I gave Ryan my old one.
That's what
it's
it was.
a little bit more
Okay.
banged up, but I gave it to him for his little son Valor because
Valor.
I remember when I was a little kid, I would have looked into somebody's eyes while I just squeezed for a Castle Grayskull, and
was
I
the
never
ballers.
got one.
It was
Never
the
got
ballers.
one. But now that I'm an adult human
You treat
and I
yourself.
can get those things, I have one now. So
That's great.
I took my old kind of beat up one, and then so now he will grow up not knowing the emptiness of not
That you
having
felt.
Castle Grayskull.
That's fair. I do have to say, and I'm getting better at this, you can find audio versions. If you don't want to see our ugly mugs on the TV screen or on your phone or your computer or whatever you're watching, you can go ahead and do an audio version. Let me check my notes. Anywhere you can find your podcasts.
Anywhere you find your podcast.
Nailed it!
Got
Spotify,
there.
Hell
Apple
yeah.
Podcasts.
Woo!
Google has some service now. I don't know what it's called.
Spotify's? We're Spotify's too, aren't we? I keep seeing
I said
Spotify
it
emails.
first.
Yeah, those are
Yeah,
all. Oh, did you?
Spotify and
I
Apple
messed up. There you
Podcast
go.
are the main ones.
We're on all those, so you can just listen to the audio versions, and it's super cool because I'm still getting used to acknowledging audio versions. You guys are very good at it on the CCO podcast.
Why, thank you. Yes.
And then you say, if you're not watching on YouTube, which you should be,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. I just love using all of their gimmicks on the show. So yeah, you can get the audio stuff going. Do you want to talk a little bit about the old toys that we love so much that you have gone out and got back to fill that void in your soul?
I have several toys. I
You
would love
have
to.
you have a whole collection. What is it, like a cabinet full of stuff?
I have actually, now that I've
Adulted?
I've adulted, and I have a whole room with display cases, and it's all lit and stuff.
Come
it's so
on.
cool. Yeah. 'Cause
Dude.
I'm an avid Transformers collector, as some people know, and I've got the sweetest setup. Oh man, yeah, it is so cool.
Hell yeah.
I'm very happy with it.
So what are those ones besides Castle Grayskull that you had to have that you went and got even though you're an adult?
Well, it's going to sound very cliche. I said I'm a Transformers collector, but I needed an Optimus Prime. G1, really kind of sucky. His hands they don't transform into his body. You got to pull him off of his arms, right?
Beat up.
All that stuff. Oh yeah. And just it's beat to crap. I found it at a garage sale, the Montgomery garage sale here in Saskatoon. If you're
Hey,
curious.
shout out, yeah.
Yeah,
Lots of good stuff there.
I went out and I found one, and it only had half the trailer. There's the little flaps, but the one flap was gone. So I had to buy an extra flap off the internet. But I'm not taking that thing. It's held together with Scotch tape in some parts.
Oh, I love
But
that.
oh man, it's so freaking cool, and it's so beat up, and he doesn't stand up by himself anymore because the joints are so loose.
He's seeing some shit, bro.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so cool, and it was one of the crown jewels. I needed to have it. I haven't made it. I haven't become an adult until I've gone out and spent the money that would cost me a brand new toy for just some old beat up piece of trash that somebody found in a garage. That's how you know you're a true toy collector.
When you play with them, do you ever do the voice like Autobots roll out, and then you smash them into each other and stuff like that?
Well, yeah. How do you do it?
I don't know. Autobots roll out.
No, you got to make your voice sound kind of deep,
That's cool.
right? You got to do that.
Yeah.
Autobots.
That's really
And
cool.
then you stab him with a stake, and he gets shot a bunch of times, and you cry because your dad just got killed in Transformers the movie 1987.
Bye, Summer. Summer's out. Take care, buddy.
See you.
Oh, that's the movie, man. My brother Noel, my dude, White Lion, did the intro song. The
Yeah.
Transformers more than me, but it was 80s hair metal version.
Yes.
Super cool.
Man, that's so dope. I like
was that
song so
anime?
much.
Was it an anime?
Was it? It wasn't.
That movie wise. Was it considered an anime?
It was animated by a Japanese
That's
studio.
why there was some
and it
crossover,
was
okay.
directed by a Japanese gentleman. But I don't think it's technically considered like an anime.
I always got confused because someone was trying to talk like real smart with me, and a lot of the times when I get in those conversations, I just smile and nod a lot.
Oh, as you
and
should.
I never understand what's happening.
As you
and
should.
it sort of went in that direction where I was like, I'm pretty sure I saw that movie when I was a kid, and it didn't look like it was an anime.
The only real distinction I've ever drawn between the two is I found that American cartoons are more serial in that they never end, like a Garfield comic, right? Like Garfield never gets older. The Simpsons, they never get older, they never change. They just continue on ad nauseum forever until they get canceled and they're gone. Whereas a Japanese cartoon, an anime, if you will, typically has overarching stories that have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and there actually is an end in sight for the program. Remember how successful it is, it does have an ending, and then they become Dragon Ball Z, where they just retell the story over and over and over again.
Super
in order to
Saiyan for everyone.
Keep making that money.
Network grinding again.
Yes.
How about that Garfield though? Hey, dude hates Mondays.
Man, like,
Just hates them.
hates
What
Mondays,
happened? Like,
loves
why does he hate
lasagna.
Mondays so much?
Do you think that comic strip is just John Arbuckle just being sad? Because I feel really bad for him. You know, like the one person in his life that's constant is his cat, and his cat's just an asshole to
Yeah,
him.
his cat hates him.
Right? And his dog's an idiot.
Yeah,
And
poor
like,
Odie. Yeah.
man, like it's just, that guy's got a rough life, man. Like I always felt bad for him.
Do you think he ever has actually tasted lasagna before? Not Garfield, like John Arbuckle.
Oh, no chance.
No
no
the
chance.
second that shit comes out of the oven, it's gone.
Oh yeah, 0% chance he has
Have you seen
ever.
how he eats too? Like Garfield just like this and it's gone.
Like he's got hands, and he doesn't even have hands. Cats can't even turn their paws towards their faces, but somehow Garfield can.
Apparently, there's a new Garfield out with Star-Lord voicing him.
What?
Yeah, isn't that weird? Yeah. You know that? Is that true? We can confirm that.
Yeah, we're taking the kids.
Wow.
Oh, they're taking
Are you
the
pumped
kids.
for it?
The kids are pumped.
Do
Okay.
they even know who Garfield is?
Yeah, Emma loves Garfield.
How and why? Where is he? Is he still like a presence in today's
I
pop
read his
culture
comics
society?
all the time.
Oh,
Okay, LB read him.
LB's got it. Yeah. So the comics. Well, we all remember the comics. Those elongated, like weird shaped ones.
Yeah, well, like in
Where
the
there's,
in the
like, the
newspaper
strips in
and
there,
stuff,
yeah.
if those are still a thing.
That's
But
fair.
like, do they like where do you get your Garfield now?
Well,
Right,
probably
like,
the same where
where do you
everyone
get
does
it?
YouTube.
I mean, I found all of mine at used bookstores and book sales.
Ah.
You used bookstores. Okay, I remember the
We're
book.
not all scholars like LB though that get to
Yeah.
go to used bookstores and
Yeah.
read books.
Yo, what a nerd. That's why he's in the booth and we're on the camera. Because he reads books. He's a book nerd, right? We're like sports nerds.
Tell me more about your toy collection.
And
I'm working on building mine as well.
yeah, see? So shut up.
Take
dude.
that.
Yeah, it's in the thousands.
Oh.
Shut up.
The shirt. We're gonna move on from Garfield. I just wanted to drop that. Murder, She Wrote. Are you a fan, or are you just a fan of the amazing shirt? Because I love it so much.
I love this shirt, number one. I also actually do really like the show.
I've never seen it. This is why I bring it up.
Man, it's
I wanted someone to explain it to
I
me.
don't want to say it's so good, but it's about this like mystery writer from Maine.
What's her real name? Anne Margaret? Anne Bradbury? Anne
Angela-
Margie? Angela Bradbury?
Angela something Murray.
Angela something Murray? Angela Murray? And
It's Angela.
it's like we're playing bumper
Angela.
stumpers out here.
Whatever her name is. She plays
Yeah.
Jessica Fletcher.
There you go. That's the
the
only
name that we
matters.
know. That's
Yeah.
the only name that counts.
Yeah.
And she's like a crime novelist,
Oh.
murder writer, mystery writer, if you will.
Okay.
And she's like the most famous human of all time because she just gets to go everywhere and do everything. And everywhere she goes, she kills somebody and frames some poor sap for the murder.
Angela Lansbury.
Angela Lansbury.
Angela
is her name.
Lansbury. Man,
Thanks.
we were close.
Thanks, LB.
Well done, LB. Hold on. I feel like we got swerved there. She kills people?
Well, not like on screen, but yeah.
Oh, is this one of those like internet rumors?
Not internet rumors. There's no way you can go 13 seasons and everywhere you go and everything you do, somebody just happens to get killed. Like, have nobody ever put together, you know, guys, over the last 10 years, this old lady shows up and people start dropping like flies. Like, this lady's nephew has been accused of more murders than war criminals. Are you kidding me?
There's one common denominator here, you
Yeah,
guys.
and nobody picks up on it. It's insane. It's crazy. And when you watch the show knowing that she's the one killing these people and then framing other people for
Totally
it
different dynamic.
and then making millions off the stories of solving their murders, it's brilliant.
Man, you're bringing a lot of really good evidence to the table.
It is brilliant.
Has that
Yeah.
been like a rumor that people are trying to confirm?
It has to be real. Like,
That's
unless
gotta
we
be
find somebody that actually ran the show,
Yeah.
But I'm sure we could.
I
probably
love
get it
I
out.
love Easter eggs. I love stuff that'll like take you all the way to left field and still bring it back somehow. I'm all about that. That type of storytelling where you can leave stuff open for the readers or the consumer's interpretation. I love that. So maybe I need to, not just because of the sick shirt, but maybe I need to start watching Angela Lansbury and that great show Murder, She Wrote.
It's true story. It's actually kind of fun. It's a good show. You know, it's like some of that 80s, like you sit down for 40 minutes
Okay.
with your coffee and like a sandwich maybe,
Okay.
and you watch it, and it's great. It's kind of like watching the Flintstones at lunch when you went home
Love
from
this.
school.
Yeah, that's
it's the
that.
same thing, except now you're old. Not old, but older.
I don't. Like,
When you're old, you watch Matlock. When you're like older than young, then you watch Murder, She Wrote.
I like to give you a lot of leeway normally, but I guess you're just saying as a whole, because I don't see any comparison between Fat Freddy, Twinkle Toes,
Oh yeah.
running Bedrock, and Angela Lansbury murdering people and be like, hey, there's a book about it.
Well, I mean, you have to watch the show, and then you will.
I get it.
It's all there.
Does she wear a hard hat? Does she have a Mr. Slate that yells at her?
No.
Does she have a...
She does have a doctor friend that gives her crap all the time, though.
Oh, that
He's.
sounds
I
brutal.
think that he's in on it, but he knows what she's doing, and so and
Accomplice.
he's always kind of trying to stop her from killing, but he doesn't just want to come out and say, "Hey, you need to stop killing everybody, Jessica. This is getting out of hand."
That's it. My mom also knew Angela Lansbury.
Oh,
Shout out to Mom.
Gary's
Her
mom.
and my dad
Thanks.
are the only ones that watch this show live, so hi to you guys again.
Well, and me. I also watch. When I'm not
Live,
here,
though?
I'm watching.
Live?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang.
Oh yeah. My favorite day is Friday.
Oh, that's because you love Rebecca Black.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes. She's the one whose hand is a dolphin, right? Is that the one? Is that
Probably.
Is that
Always seen like
Rebecca
a convertible,
Black?
like Friday,
Friday. Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to get a Monday song somehow. I really want to get a Monday song that has the same like fire that Friday has.
But why does everybody hate Mondays so
Thank you.
much?
Garfield syndrome. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Thanks
I
for
don't
the circle,
understand
man.
it. See,
Because they suck.
why do they suck though?
Show your work, bro. Tell us
You
why.
had 2 days off, and now you have to go back. It's the worst.
But it's the day when like you go back and you're kind of excited to see all your work homies. If you work at a good
Imagine
place,
having a work homies.
like I do have work homies.
I just got so
don't.
depressed. I haven't had a work homie in over 11 months now.
Well, yeah, but now you have all of us.
That's true. But I don't get
Yeah.
to see you guys every day.
I guess, but
But also, I only know you guys because you
Yeah.
were my work homies from
Yeah,
before. Okay,
right?
I take it.
right. If you work at a good place and you got all sorts of
No,
people
you're
that
right.
like you want to be with and you want to hang out with,
That works.
then on your Monday you're gonna have like this wild weekend, right? You had Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, and then Sunday you feel sad because Monday's coming up. But then when you're on the way to work on Monday, you're thinking, man, I'm gonna get to see all like these people that I enjoy and I like being around. And you kind of can still kind of push to the side the people at the office. Maybe I don't want to.
God, I love you.
Maybe they're not my favorites, but you can focus on the ones who you really like, and you're gonna have like at least a few hours where you're like, man, like here's all the fucking cool stuff that I did,
You're also not in high school.
right? Man, no, LB, I'm not in high school anymore, and if I was, I wouldn't be because I was so good at it. I would have graduated early. Which is a lie because I actually was in high school for 5 years. I liked it so much I stayed an extra year. And I'm not ashamed to admit that. And it was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. Like flunking out of school, I think was like not out of school, but like failing really hard in 1 year of high school, I think was one of the best things that ever happened to me.
It teaches you how to make it in the real world.
I guess
Teaches you how to cope with failure.
in a way, but I think it made me really appreciate like, hey, like if I put something into a thing, I'm actually going to get something of value out of it. And high school isn't. There's people who maybe watch this who are in high school who are like, or maybe even Brookman's and be like, "Fuck, my high school's like the hardest thing. This is." But when you look back at it, it's not. But it's really important and formative, and the more time you actually put into yourself during those years when you're in high school, when you can make mistakes and they don't really count for much, it really helps you grow as a human being, and you form relationships and you learn how to know yourself and learn and interact with other people. And like me doing that for that extra year really allowed me to grow and flourish as an adult. And had I just kind of coasted through it, then I would have missed out on that growth opportunity, especially my grade 12 year, which is when I met a bunch of friends who are still my friends. And I learned to like a bunch of the passions and stuff that have carried me all the way to right now. I learned on that extra year of high school, and I think that yeah, I have no regrets, and I'm proud to say I was on the 5-year plan, man. It was good.
when people ask me, what's that Brando guy like?
Aw.
No one ever assumes that you can be so deep and passionate and thoughtful and inspiring. And I have to tell them all the time, I use all those words, like, you have no idea how incredible this human being is. He's one of my favorite people. And there's a reason why. Like, you want to talk about how everything you just said, that totally applies at the other place. Right? And that's how we became best friends, you, me, and Brooksy and Rolanders, is because we were like the outcasts, but we've been through some shit, and we realize how people are, and we gravitated to each other because I think we can all agree on this, is we don't give a crap how you look or how you act or what you do. If you're good to me, we'll be good to you, and we'll be bros.
Yep.
And that's sort of like really special stuff that you brought there, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. I
Jeez.
appreciate that. It's important to take stuff like that through your life because, man, life's too short to be pissed off all the time.
Ain't that the
Right?
truth?
Or to just have a rough time. It
Yes.
sucks. Like,
That's why we started this place.
Yeah.
Because out there, everyone's angry all the time. And that's why I'm so scared to leave my house all the time. Because everyone's angry and they're all so mean out there. It's like, bro, come on. And in my head, I'm like, there's got to be a way to fix this. And this Dufferin Avenue Media Network is the place to fix it.
yeah, and everybody can be a
stuff like
part
that.
of it if they want to be. Now we turned all that great stuff into a sales pitch.
Wait
Can
for
we
it.
do it?
Yeah. DufferinAv.com. Head on over. If you want to create stuff, content creators, we welcome you here as long as you're not a dink. You're not an asshole. You want to just be a part of something really cool and fun. Come join us. Advertisers, like our good friends over at Sotner Concrete Services. I'm sporting that one today. Or our buddies over at Aquaman, get this. Not just underwater drone inspections. No. They also do the operation of licensed water treatment facilities in Alberta and Saskatchewan, as they're located in Lloydminster. And they do annual and quarterly sampling and monitoring.
Not just
Standing with the thread
maintenance
end. Yeah.
of drones that are under the water, which I thought last time.
Coolest. This is my go-to because it sounds the coolest.
Right? Like they use drones to see all the stuff
Yeah.
under the water.
So
All your underwater water needs. They are the place to go.
Oh, and these guys too. Shut Nickel Plumbing and Heating. The faces that built the places, if you know what I'm saying.
They dug the worst hairball I have ever seen in my life out of a sink at my old house. And it wasn't even my hair. Like I lived there for like 6 years. And this very nice gentleman comes over and he's got his tool. He's like, hey man, like Gary said you need some help. Yeah, dude, like my sink won't drain. It kind of smells weird. Please help me. And the guy just goes and he's got this wrench like 8 feet long
Yeah,
so he
dog.
can crack this like lid off of a pipe. And he goes in and he pulls out this like,
I think I found the problem.
it looked like a congealed lump of like concrete with hair on it.
Disgusting.
And like the hair was all different colors. It was like gray and green and blue. It's like, my hair is none of these colors. How did this happen? And he's like, dude, this looks like it's very old. This clog has been here for a long time. We're like, but I poured so much Drano onto it. Dude, no, that's not. No, it doesn't work that way at all. And so Nickel Plumbing and Heat, they're great people. They will save you all sorts of stuff.
And I wonder how many people at the old place have used Nickel Plumbing and Heating. I think so many of our bros over there were always like, Garrett, we got a problem. You got any plumbers you can send over? And I'd always have to call Dad or call my bro and be like, hey, can we get some over real quick?
Mm-hmm.
And every single time it's always, yep, no problem. And I imagine it was, I wanted to picture the guy's reaction to your reaction when he pulled that out.
Oh,
That would have been hilarious.
Oh, dude, I wish
I knew who it was.
I was both excited and upset at the same time, if you
Yeah.
can imagine. Just like I was
that-
so pumped that my sink was going to drain, but so upset that this weird alien life form had just been
Just
brought
hanging
out
out
of.
there.
Right? Oh, dude.
That reminds me, my shower, I just realized this over the last week. It's clogged.
Oh,
And I
no.
think it's only been my hair because I'm the only one who's used that shower. Guaranteed. No one else. So I'm me to blame. But I might have to call our good friends over at Nickel Plumbing and Heating and maybe get that clog drain. Dad, I got a clog drain in the old bathtub / shower. I'm assuming it's all this.
Yeah. You got to get one of those. It's like a little suction cup gimmick that you put over the drain.
Plunger.
No, like it goes over the drain all the time. It has little holes in it, but it
Oh.
catches the hair, and then after each shower, you just like fish the hair out of that and throw it in the garbage.
Dude, you know me. That's way too much work.
It takes
Dude, I just do my thing and then call Nickel Plumbing and they fix it.
Oh, well, la-di-da, Mr. My Dad's a Plumber Pants over here.
Hey, not once have I ever denied being full of privilege. I say it all the time. I'm the most spoiled kid you'll ever meet. That's, again, another reason why I started this place was because I want to give back. I want other people to feel what it's like to be spoiled your whole life. So this is what, and shout out to my parents, best parents in the universe for doing all that. Have you played the piano yet? You want to play the piano?
Wait, I don't know how to play the piano.
Oh.
Can you show me? If you teach me to play the piano, I will.
What do you think?
Love learning new things.
What do you think, LB? Should we play us out?
Oh, that is a chill beat right there. I like that.
You know who that is? Von Trask's grandpa.
You're kidding me.
94 years old, just stepped up to the piano and started ripping it.
Did he learn that song after he kicked open a saloon door and broke a bottle over somebody's head? Oh, man. And then he got into a Wild West gunfight at high noon, right? Oh, man. He wore like a pot-bellied stove lid under his shirt so that when the outlaw got him, he could come back from the supposed dead to get his revenge on Boot Hill. Hell yeah, baby. I love this song. It's good. I like this.
Is that Red Dead Redemption?
I think it's every Western I've ever seen ever.
To Coach 1 and Coach 2, our good buddy Adrian Balarzon out in Australia, and Coach Mazer, thank you for joining us, kicking off the double Zoom. That was so fun. It actually worked. LB, thank you to you for everything you do, including making that happen. To Brixie, look at this. She brought us back a beautiful Lucha Libre Luchador mug that is going directly on the set. Thank you to you for returning. We love you and appreciate you greatly. Again, Wendy Brooks Media. If you hate social media more than anything in the world, she will fix it for you. She will take care of it, and she is fantastic at it. To this guy, Uncle Brando, from the CCO podcast. Check it out. He is fantastic at everything he does. Are you going to party on Friday?
Absolutely. I will be here.
See, the more we get him in, the more he wants to come back. So I'm like, get him on all the time, because I think we can all agree. Like, character. Like, so much character. He brings so much happiness and joy. I still can't believe you did that whole, that was like from a movie, man, that speech about 5 years in high school.
Oh, well, I do what I can.
No one expects you to be the guy that you are, except for me. And I'm so grateful for you, my friend.
On the future.
I love you, man.
It's always fun being here.
We'll be back tomorrow. Thursday, I guess it's going to be. CTV Matt Young was just texting me. He said he's not going to be able to get in there tomorrow, so we're going to do a late recording. He'll be on Friday as well, so we'll do some more video game modding, which will be very, very fun. We got other stuff tomorrow. What else do I have? I don't know. We're at the point now with this show where we're like overbooked. Remember like the first couple episodes, it was just me talking like this? Hi, welcome to your show. And now it's like we have to like move people over.
We have schedules.
It's crazy. So thank you to you for watching. We appreciate you greatly. And have yourself an amazing rest of your Wednesday. AEW Dynamite's on tonight.
It'll be fun.
Take care.